All
How
right.
we live.
We are live. We are. Hello, family. Yes, we were talking backstage. There's a lot going on in the world.
Yep,
And
there
some
is.
may not see what's going on in the world and all the distractions that are going on. I don't know if it was this week or last week we had that message of be aware of distractions. And they
False
are,
flags.
yeah, they're running rampant right now. So anyway, happy Friday. Pants are optional, but since it is now officially spring, I expect everyone to be in their floral granny panties. Okay.
Sorry. I don't
Floral.
have floral granny panties, so I don't have any. Nothing.
You know, that's
Wow.
always that's always a must just in case of emergency parachute. You need it.
That's right. Well, King's choosing to go commando today, and that's fine. So, all right.
Let's
Hello.
all stand up and celebrate.
You go for it, love. You go for it.
Yeah, I'm glad he said that instead of salute.
Yeah. There you go. Hello to everyone in the chat. Okay, we're going to deep dive and then we'll work on your questions. Now, today's topic, King suggested it, so definitely going to let him kick this off.
Well, the first thing I want to know is a question.
Well,
First thing you want to know is a question.
You jumped right in there. I was going to say today's show is all about.
Here, wait. I'm sorry. I should have done this.
Okay, it's official now. It's on the books. Court reporter, record that. Mm-hmm.
Is the ascension also known as the rapture?
Wow, you even went through there first, huh?
Right off the top.
Yeah. Well, I will get ready to pull cards. I'm going to add my camera. And
you dust off the cards and
well, I'm going to leave my opinions to myself until it's my turn.
Yeah, tell ego to step aside.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's add this to stage. Okay.
Stage left.
Let me know if you lose the mic, if I get disconnected. Boomer's been chewing on the wires too.
Boomer in the room?
He got kicked out this morning. Oh, I got so mad at him because there's teeth marks in everything.
Did you see that meme about she had two cats and so she measured between each of their teeth to see which one bit into everything?
Smart move. Make molds of their teeth and then compare it to the evidence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
Was this a cat lady or what?
Well, she had two cats. One was a big cat. One was a little cat. It was funny. So she measured with a tape measure.
Well, Laren is older, wiser, and doesn't care. And Boomer is a teenage punk who thinks he owns the world. So,
yeah. Now, I know they have like a spray for dogs called bitter apple. Do they have something for cats that they don't like the taste of?
My backhand.
Oh, that's a good one. I think that's very broad. It goes to everybody that doesn't like it.
That's right. It's universal.
You can.
It's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
I left my ego out of this, okay? Just saying.
All right.
Okay. Let's hear what
I believe you.
Let's see what the ego has to say.
I love that Temperance is in here. This is great. It's the same thing.
All right.
It really, truly is Christ. It's the Christ consciousness is what it is.
Exactly.
Of course, this is the ending of all burdens. This is where we balance ourselves out between whatever density level you're at from 3D and you raise yourself. Everyone's so worried and concerned about this. Stop. Don't. Why?
What is this?
The Nine of Swords. That's that unnecessary worry and anxiety. This has been going on for years. Everybody's worried about when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. It doesn't matter. This is all about love.
Yeah.
This is all about love and ending burdens. It's also a great balance of bringing back the divine feminine as well.
That's what it is all about.
It's a balance of masculine and feminine, and we're just waiting. We're being patient.
Yeah.
But temperance is all about understanding the consciousness, the higher consciousness, and that's pretty much what it is. So you can put whatever name you want on it. So
Sharon wants to know whether or not the questions are still open.
we haven't started questions yet because
Close it, Sharon.
today's deep dive day. So we've got discussion first, and then we'll open it to questions. But yeah, it's the same thing. It all has to do with new beginnings and starting over again. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's also interpretation.
Yeah.
It's the way you want to believe it or interpret it is what
Four of Cups is a good reminder not to get distracted by emotionally what you call it. It doesn't matter what you call it. It has to do about core beliefs.
Yeah.
And faith. But yeah, to answer your question, King, it's the same thing.
Cool. All right, and then moving up, the ascension process basically goes through steps of densities, one density to the next, until you get all the way to the 8th, I think, and then you go into the next dimension. I think most of us are in 4th right now.
Yeah.
Now, are you talking about now dimension? Maybe we should decide, redefine that. Density is different than dimension, or are they?
One's physical, one's consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay, so the density of what you work on makes you go to the next dimension.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to stages, you have to realize that everybody on the planet is on a different path and different stage. So you can take the light workers, faith-based people that are truly heading towards Christ consciousness, and that's our goal. We're trying to improve ourselves. That we'll probably reach a higher density a lot faster than some of the other ones, probably NPCs and people that are just running the rat race and have no clue what's going on. So there will be a separation at some point, I believe, from probably loved ones. Do I think the higher ups could probably travel back down to help the lower ones? Yeah. But we also
Some
have
are doing that now. So
exactly.
So what we're actually talking about is the division from 3D to 5D. This is what we're talking about. So we probably have to say some hypothetical ideas of what their idea is of that division before we start talking about loved ones and all that.
Right. And I think we need to remember that it's not just a humanity thing, a personal human thing. It also has to do with, I guarantee you pets are going to go and they're going to do their thing.
They're already there. Yeah.
But Gaia, Terra herself, you can say that she's merging. You can say she's splitting. You can say that we're going to get a whole new deal. Even in the Bible, it says new heaven and new earth, that kind of stuff. So the labels are ridiculous at this point. We just know that it's new beginnings somewhere higher up, better than this. And that's my whole theory. And I will warn you guys now, don't take this wrong. Jen's not trying to be an asshole. Jen's just being blunt. When it comes to this, I think it's a great topic for a conversation. But for me personally, I don't care.
Well, yeah, because it's only personal work. It's not get to the end point. It's doing your personal work. And
well, my point is, if we focus solely on what we're going to be doing and what it's going to be like in a higher density or whatever, we're losing focus of what we need to be doing right now and being in the moment. And there are some people out there that are obsessed with ascension.
Yeah.
And they try to rush it and force it. And this is a natural process because you're kind of kicking your contract to the curb here. So there's a reason you're doing what you're doing and you're at the place that you're at.
Obviously.
So it's not like I've lost empathy for humanity. I'm just thinking that for me, poke you in the eye. I have walked with Christ on the other side. I walk with him now. I've seen the best of the best, and I'm walking this hellhole. It can't be any worse than this.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not going to hell. So it can only get better from here. So bring it on. Whenever, whatever. I'm just going to be in the moment.
Yeah. And being in the moment, I mean, think about it. We hypothetically don't know because this is the first time this is actually going to happen. Correct? So wouldn't you like to be in the moment, enjoy your loved ones, enjoy everything that you're doing right now, being grateful for everything instead of just saying, I don't have to do all that stuff. Let me just be miserable and I'm going to be happy when I get to the higher density.
Well, and you will, but if you want the best of the best, you're going to work on now. That way you don't want to carry it over, and the forced incarnation is gone. You probably still have the option.
You have the option, yeah.
Maybe, and some people will choose to do it.
Yeah. It's probably the ones who will have to do it are the ones who will be stuck in the 3D still.
I'm tired of doing it.
You're tired of doing it?
Now, if you, just for curiosity's sake, is this a one-shot deal or are there stages of this?
I think there's stages. This is my feel. I think there's stages. I think we are the ones of the Great Awakening to wake up the others.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question was, okay, if let's say there is an Earth split, a Gaia split,
mm-hmm.
and they say they won't remember us, but I think it's very difficult to erase every trace of you because you are a mom or a grandmother or whatever. How did they not remember you used to exist? So would there be a fill-in body of me living here while I'm elsewhere?
I'll pull cards on it. I keep thinking of, this is what Wings is putting in my ear. He's showing me the sea. But I know what it means. Christ has what they call the sea of forgetfulness.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't think that he can't wipe that consciousness in any history, oh, yes, he can.
I get that. But if you're okay, say you have young children
mm-hmm.
and you go, or don't they realize, did I have a mom or did I not have a mom?
Well, first of all, babies will go. Children will go.
Yes, true. Adults, yeah, but young adults, let's say young adults.
I don't, that'd be like asking Christ, what is your plan? And he's going, I'm not telling you my plan. Like,
we're doing
be patient.
Yes, it's hypothetical. It's hypothetical. We're just hypothetically asking your plan. But would there be a fractal here sitting to say, okay, she's in the motion? Because most of the time when we're in our 5D, they don't even see us, but they know we're still here.
True. Well, but when I've been in the 5D, they weren't even looking for me.
You're not as famous as you thought you were.
Or 3D.
No, let me tell you, I was so relieved. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Some people want to be famous. I want to be invisible.
Me too.
Oh, Lord, the cops are here.
Oh, Lord, the cops are here.
All right, be invisible.
You guys remember the show Soap? Bert would always try to be invisible.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not my burden to carry, huh?
Yeah.
This is going to be lost. You be dead.
That's another thing.
You don't get replaced. You go live off your life. To them, you're just dead. That's loss.
Wow.
There's the moon. Who is calling me? Okay. Every time I get on live, someone calls me. It's not a school. It's not even in the Tucky, so I'm going to ignore it.
In the Tucky?
Not in the Tucky. Yeah, you did say there's going to be a lot of distractions.
Interesting with the star and moon here. This almost tells me, and this looking up into the sky, this almost tells me that the rapture, the way that it's supposed to happen with the bodies ascending to the heavens, is actually more accurate than we realize. That it's a physical thing and people will go, where the hell are you going? And then, of course, people that realize, oh, crap, them damn Christians might be right. Or those esoteric spiritual people were on to something. There's something happening. So
their bodies will turn into light bodies when they go up there.
Yeah, and a lot of them will just quit. You talk about a massive surrender. It's either surrender, oh God, I was wrong, and they'll get it right, or they'll take themselves out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because Bashar, if you guys remember Bashar, the channel, he said, why are you guys worried about 5D? You won't have a body. You're not going to be alive. I mean, alive in this 3D
consciousness, alive, not physical flesh vessel.
The flesh would be gone, but your consciousness, your light.
Now, it's to my understanding, in the 5th and 6th density, you still have a form of a body.
That's what I thought.
Maybe you're working with the Federation. I don't know. These are all little hypotheticals because we were told that, are we going to go to a different multiverse and help out that Earth and be the higher self for ourselves living in another density?
Yeah.
I'd just soon hang it up and go to the house. That's my attitude. I'm done. I will stick it out and do it, and I'll do it one last time. And I know that sounds like I'm bargaining with God, but that's what we've discussed. And he said, I promise you, if you fix what you need to fix the here and now, you will never have to do this again. And I said, deal.
All right. So let's pull another Vippy. I'm going to be piggybacking off of it because I can't find my other Vippy. I think King took my Vippy.
Here.
Thanks. I don't have, I got to go look for it. It's been traveling. It's been traveling with me for so many places.
Maybe it's been mistaken for a chicken.
What was the Vippy that I said?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We talked about coming back and finishing your things. All right, let's switch to another Vippy because I have so many in my head. The other Vippy is, can we be in a different Gaia, 5D Gaia, but come back here to work and shine the light and then go back when we're...
For those, and I don't want to get into the controversial movies. It's not what I'm referring to, but the concept of those left behind. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, we still have to wake them up.
Okay.
But we already did our work and we ascended, but a lot of us are light workers to come back and...
Well, wouldn't that follow into the category of the light workers, the 144,000, the light council? Because if you follow under that, then yeah, that's your job. You're supposed to help them out. King of Cups. He's going to do it for us.
Oh, good. Thanks, King.
What else is new,
Thanks for erasing my first question so you can do all the work.
You're welcome.
This tells me that it's limited for certain people. Certain people won't do it. It's a boundary issue here.
Okay.
He's also got a great poker face. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. And that's just spirit messing with you going, good luck. Page of Pentacles. This tells me it's going to be a lot of the starseeds. The younger generations.
Okay. Rainbow kids. Yeah. That's probably why they're here.
Yeah. 2 of Wands, 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So it's almost like going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Well, can I piggyback off that then when you're done?
Yeah. 9 of Wands is those that are absolutely exhausted. You'll be able to come back and forth, encourage them to hold the line and keep going to the very, very end. And there's your divine creator. Until you find God, do that soul searching and figure out what you need to be doing. Yeah. And see, once again, be prepared. You're going to see a lot of attempted take myself out kind of things. And some people will give in to God. You're here. This is spreading messages. So you'll be able to communicate back and forth. So absolutely. In whatever form that is. Okay, King, what was your...
I'm wondering if we go back to 3D from 5D to help out, can we come back invisibly or shapeshift into something, or just come back as a 3D?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I felt like this as being a fractal that is taking your place here while you're in 5D, and then you just come back in your fractal. Wouldn't that?
Well, if they already think that you're dead.
Well, that's why I figured it was just going to be a suit. You wouldn't be dead. Because I can't imagine people who aren't awake and then they see your physical death to say, oh my God, she wasted all her time on this ascension crap. I would rather have them see that we did know what we were talking about. Yeah. So they don't have the fear. So they don't put their head back in 3D.
This is light body.
Okay, going back.
So this is spiritually. You won't have a physical body to work with. So your higher consciousness can help guide and direct. We become the divination tool.
Oh.
We work with them now. We will become the divination. So,
here we go. You ready? Yes.
No. Yes. No. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I'll do the rods. I'll be like this.
Okay, so let's say that, for instance, it's just an example. If you have a loved one that comes and they appear to you, call them ghost apparitions. I don't care what you call them. Right. But if you have a spirit that comes to you, you have that ability as well.
Okay. So you can basically shapeshift type.
Or you can come to them in their dreams. Like we do that all the time. That's how a lot of visitation happens. We can come and say, hey, like when Michael was alive, I didn't dream about my son unless I had a premonition about something. Now he's in there all the time. He bugs me more now than he did when he was here. Okay. But he's like a life coach now. Keep going, Mom. You're doing great, Mom. Shine your light, Mom. That's what you get. So that's the form that you can take on as a spiritual guidance for others.
I'm used to being in their dreams, so that's probably the best thing.
Nightmares, dear, nightmares.
I remember what I was going to say before. So when we go into the 5D, let's say that, do we have another set of contracts or work that we have to do as we're in the 5D then? Or is there another matrix or psyop, or is that
for me personally, what I've been told, this is the one-shot deal. This is the final This is it. What is supposed to happen after this is what God intended it to be.
Okay. Well, let's just, I'm going to put this in today. Yesterday, Michael Sandler had Suzanne Geisman. She's very good. She was her and her husband were in the Navy, I believe. I forgot what their order was, but she has now been meditating and having guides, and she's very good at what she does. And what she said was her guides told her what is planned are the opportunities, but what is unfolding is the result of each now moment building up to itself. Free will choices. So guys, it's actually enjoy the now. Exactly. And whatever happens. It's almost like us being impatient about the Zim or whatever. Mm-hmm. Enjoy it now, because when that happens, we're going to be so busy. We're not going to enjoy our loved ones or with our fur babies or, we have to enjoy what we have now so we don't lose that.
What was her name?
Susan Geisman, Giessemann.
Yeah, because if we lose focus and we're constantly trying to move towards something, there's a reason we haven't moved towards it yet. And divine timing is everything. And maybe we're not ready You have to be here, enjoy where you're at now. And if you're not enjoying it, ask yourself why. What can improve? What can you do? But every life stage has a purpose. We can't just skip. There's no skipping and cheating in this.
Oh, no skipping.
Skipping. No.
Can you give us an example, Cake?
I'm gonna erase my hopscotch thing then.
Oh, darn it. Was that, did it go from 3D to 5D, your hopscotch?
Yeah.
Well,
and you can only be a light body to use it. So there you go.
Yeah, I had a couple people. This guy, his name is from Infinite Waters. He talked about the big split and the big change. So I just want to give you what other people are thinking as the big split. For me, I don't know if it's going to be an actual physical Mama Gaia, or is it our consciousness is of a higher. So we're still on the same planet, but we're seeing it in a different view. Everything is easy for us because we manifest it instead of being in the 3D rat race. I'm thinking maybe that until ascension actually happens. But here's what he said. He asked if you could feel the shift. The matrix is collapsing. Oh, Schneider felt the shift. Well done? Okay. And it's hidden is coming to the, whatever is hidden is coming to the light right now. And this is the shift that they're saying, that we're moving into the golden age of knowledge. So could that be the new 5D Earth? Time is going quickly. Can you believe how fast we're done with February, March already? We're approaching the age of Aquarius. We're approaching the golden age. Everything is happening. I mean,
that was in the oracles this morning.
Which one?
Time is speeding up.
Yeah. Everything that we've learned will have to be unlearned. Yep. And he does talk about two worlds on Earth.
Yeah. Yep.
So many people are waking up from prison from your mind. So when I heard the 144,000, like you mentioned, Jen, if you look at it as the crown chakra, it's a lotus flower, and there's 96 petals plus, I can't remember how many. It did equal 144, plus the kundalini attaching to it. So once you get all of that, you've reached Christ consciousness, all the kundalini. So for me, it's almost like a state of mind that we're in a different view of the world. Instead of being hate and emotion, we're being love. So he said the technology, there's going to be new technology, but don't let the technology use you. You use the technology.
Right.
So like Jen mentioned many times before, try to walk away from the YouTube news or whatever, just to get you grounded. The only way to work out is to work in. So working within yourself, which we've always said, is our way of going through Christ consciousness.
I think that there's with technology, it's a double-edged sword, because we've talked about good AI and bad AI. And I think that there's going to come a day, yes, we're entering a golden age and we're going to have a beautiful time period. But I still think that there's going to be a period of backlash, and those things are going to be taken away from you. Can you survive without it? Ask yourself, can you survive without technology? If you can't I'd start training yourself now. If you're so obsessed, I wish every teenager on the planet could do this. Take it away.
Yep.
They will lay down in their front yards and say, kill me now.
Are you talking teenagers? How about adults?
Well, some adults too, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Wings has to force me to pick up my phone because I hate the stupid thing.
Yeah, I hear you.
I hate it. I don't want to be on it.
Well, I do.
Play games, so
I know. Unfortunately, I got stuck again on it. I don't know why I did that, but it's just I have been ill, and I haven't been watching anything like YouTube, anything, maybe a little Instagram just to make me laugh, but
Oh.
I got stuck playing Toy Blast again just because I'm killing time, you know?
Yeah.
But that'll make me sleep, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
But regarding your numbers today, that's you reminded me of it. Let's say 1, 7, 7, the divine. So remember the divine, and your second set of numbers was 11 of an illumination. Be illuminated with your divine creator, not with what's going on down here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third, which was the buttons, is 2 and 4. You're going to collaborate to build a new foundation.
Yeah.
So make sure you remember the divine and how you are illuminated by his grace, by his spark within you, so you can collaborate and make a new world.
Yeah.
What I got from your numbers today.
And I really think that we're here to begin the foundation and help build it.
Well, we're here to destroy it, actually.
We're here to destroy, but we're here to build. So destruction and construction.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've been given a beautiful opportunity to help humanity. Some people are choosing to bow out. And Wings makes fun of me. He says, "You're cherry picking what you want to fix." And I said, "You're damn straight I am." Because to me, some of it's a waste of time because they're already so they don't even know how to critically think, and I'm not going to do the work for them. So
I know that there are a lot of young light workers that are so confused right now. And then they send these frequencies of anger, so they turn their back on what they're here for. I noticed that the last couple of shifts that we had with the full moon and the equinox yesterday caused a lot of drama or emotion or recluseness, because they don't get it.
Yeah.
And so I think once they start seeing that they have us that are here to break it down and help build it up, but they're the ones that are going to build it up with their technology, not us.
Right.
I don't think so. We will help. That's our humanitarian projects. But we're building it up for them because we're not even going to be here to see how it's going to end up.
Well, actually, this older generation, one of the main things that I understand that we're supposed to do is we're supposed to teach how to get back to basics.
Yeah.
Survival skills.
Exactly. But that's what the survival skills plus galactic technology. I mean, we're going to have fresher foods, but I'm sure we're going to have some technology to keep the solar or keep the ground heated, or whatever. I think it's going to be a combination of both, and that's why they're going to be so good at it.
Yeah.
I've seen chicken coops, okay? This chicken coop has their whole big coop. It's not caged chickens, but by solar and by water, it moves across the farm by itself. I think that's an amazing technology that makes them free ranged, lets them eat healthier, but they're not going to be like the old farmers who's going to be working harder.
True. I have this concept, and I've told Lee this, that there's going to come a day where we're going to choose to build a home. And I think the smart homes are really, really cool. But whenever I get with a contractor, I'm going to look at them and say, you can put all that fancy stuff in there if you want, but everything has to be backed up as a manual because I don't want to rely on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't want to rely into a remote control thermostat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, I think it's cool, but they installed a couple where I go meditate. You know how many times it breaks down more than it works?
Exactly. Yeah.
But very smart.
Well, they got a semi-smart. It was on sale. It was 50% off. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, simple things like people are choosing to put in electric fireplaces nowadays. I will have wood burning stove. I can chop the tree down and I'm old school, but old school, old fashioned works. Can you have the modern day conveniences mixed in? Yeah, because you don't want to work just as hard as you did when you were growing up. But if it breaks, you're prepared. That's just my theory.
Well, I mean, talk about like was it Honey C. Golden who said they'll have a machine that will fix what was broken, like a replicator, but for electronic, whatever it is,
A robot to fix the robot.
A robot to fix the robot. Yeah.
Well, then
made
you
in China.
have another robot to fix that robot.
Yeah. Well, that's what she mentioned. Like if it breaks,
It's a never-ending cycle.
You go put it in this machine, just like a health med bed for electronics or whatever. Oh, okay. I also got another one. Go ahead.
Just have a replicator that replicates everything, and then if it goes bad, you just throw it out and get yourself another one.
Well, you come into this problem of if you throw it out, then we have garbage. What do we do with all that leftover?
Not necessarily.
I'm sure that if they make a replicator, they're going to have some machine that makes it vaporize or something. I don't know.
Well, we'll have ETs coming in with their spaceships.
We'll have Wally come in.
Spaceship garbage trucks.
Let's send it to Mars.
To the moon, Alice.
Yeah. All right. I also met somebody else. Her name is the angel Raphael. She channels Raphael. And she said the splitting energies on the planet, we're splitting from 3 to 5 on the solstice. It started yesterday.
Okay.
And the pathways of the Stargate will be activated to give the ability to connect with the galactics. Stargates will be activated, which causes a new Earth. We'll have new technology, great equalizer, healing, not just healing the body, but healing the Earth. So they will release frequencies for all of us to hear, to heal our own bodies. Oceans and waters will be cleansed. New children will be born of different DNA coding. And New Earth is so much more beautiful and much more love than the drama in this trans. Go ahead, Arnold. Is it Arnold?
Dolores Cannon says the splitting started in 2020.
I think it did, but I think they brought back, like Jen, you remember one time you told me that I was going to be on the other side of that splitting of 2020, but then they put me back on this side.
Yeah. Just depends on what your soul contract is.
Yeah, so I wonder if there was a split.
I personally think the split started in 2012.
Yeah, there are others that thought that too.
With the Mayans and the original calendar that they used, I believe it went back a little bit further. That 2012 is when the decision was the original plan. Let's destroy everything and everything's gone. It's split. No, there's hope for humanity after all. And that's where we started the process.
I agree.
Well, then we also have to understand that 2012 actually come in because we don't know what calendar it was from. Was it Gregorian? Was it Julian? Was it?
Well, the Mayan calendar is totally different than both of them.
I know. So did it actually happen yet? Or was 2012 actually 2020? Or
actually, well, there's so many theories that goes along with this stuff that's been hidden or we've been lied to about whatever calendar it is.
Right.
I'm sure that they have the true Mayan calendar. When I say they, I mean the evil 13 blood families, stuff that's been kept from us. I'm sure they have all the answers. I don't know. In a different timeline, I've always gotten that the Mayans are still very active and very wise and have brought in technology that the Galactics have given them. And they're still going strong. It just so happens that this timeline, and by the way, have you noticed that the Mandela and Matrix has gotten worse about things that you know that you remember being a certain way, and they're saying that never happened, and you're like, bullshit. Yeah.
It's like words.
Unless they
a single word is split into
hyphenated.
different meanings now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is that because of the timelines merging, and that's what made the Mandela effect happen?
I think that's one. Well, yeah, timelines merging. It's also, you have to take it. You always take it to the heavens. This is all spiritual warfare.
Yep.
This is good versus evil, and every move that is made, every strategic move that's made, will adjust the timeline. Who has more leverage? We already know who wins, but the battle that's ongoing determines how much we move in one direction or the other. Your energy and light will determine how we move backwards or forwards. I was shown a picture of, they said that this alarm clock never existed. My grandparents had one, and then I inherited it, and I gave it to my brother. He still has it, and they said, "We've never made anything like that." And I'm going, "Hello?" Still there. It's the old kind where the things slowly flip the numbers. Do you remember those? It looked like somebody, like
Yep.
a old scorecard, and it totally turned it over. They're saying, "We
Kind
never
of like
made
a
anything."
Rolodex file in a way.
Sort of.
A Rolodex, yeah.
Yeah, they said we never made something like that. And I'm like, then how in the world do I possess it?
Well, then let me put a patent on that thing then,
Yeah, there you go. Let's bring it back, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, but the only thing is that we know for certain is work within ourselves.
Yeah.
Clean your chakras, your forgiveness, your discernment. I mean, as long as you're able to meditate and connect to the higher crown chakra, to the divine, and then you start to change everything else. You start to see gratitude. You start to see love. When you're in that, you're already getting into Christ consciousness. So
yeah,
whether we stay here as a 5D person or we move on, we don't have to worry about that.
Right. And I want people to realize that it's not your job to drag your family kicking and screaming to your ascension party. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way, because if you try to force it or control the situation, you're actually just dividing it even more, that you're taking away from their free will. And you have to worry about you. You're the only one, your soul is the only one you're responsible for. Okay,
Right,
as far as getting to the full Christ consciousness. You can teach, but you can't drag them.
You can
indoctrinate.
You can what?
Oh, well, that's true. You can indoctrinate.
But you already planted your seeds.
Yeah, you can only do what you can do, and if it doesn't take root, then the soil that you planted it in wasn't ready. Exactly. It wasn't, it's, but that's not on you. I used to feel so guilty when I couldn't get people to understand who Yeshua was, and I wanted to bang their head against a wall, because that's very Christian. And
so Christian.
and Jesus came in and he said, "Who made you the boss?" And I'm like, "Well, in my house, I did." And he goes, "You can't take that on." He goes, "That is you being me, and you can't do that." And he said, "Do you think that you are me?" And I said, "No." And
that's what I was going to say, Jen. You ain't Jesus.
I ain't Jesus. And that's right around the time I started saying that to people. You ain't Jesus. Stop trying to control everything.
The way I used that on Wednesday's show.
But it was that overbearing, and yes, it can be overbearing, empath side of me, because I was so worried about everybody else's well-being and their soul, that I had to learn to start dialing back the empathy. And now Wing says, "Well, now you're just a hard ass." So, but I'm not. I do care. I just cherry pick where that caring goes, because some of it's exhausting.
Well, it's not just, there's a certain difference of caring and of opening your empathy and hurting your empathy. So you can care, but not carry that energy.
Right. Yeah, so, and there I care about all the issues going on in the world, but I have to understand and accept the fact that a lot of times there's nothing I can do about it. I can pray. That's what I can do.
Exactly.
Saving the world. world is not your burden to carry.
Exactly.
But even during being awakened from the Great Awakening, you have to learn how. One of the things I think you pulled today on the oracles was balance.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we started waking up and saying, "Oh my God, we're different from our family,"
Yeah.
we started like caring less about them. But
Yeah.
then you have to go into a balance and still know you got to care for them and love them still.
Yeah.
You got
I use the analogy that some people are obsessed about ascension and the spirituality, and oops, I'm so busy with doing that and investigating what could possibly come that I forgot to pay my rent. I forgot to, and my electric got turned off or whatever. But you can also be so 3D that you don't even think about your afterlife or whatever. You have to have balance. You still have to be here, and you still have to put food on the table, and you still have to take care of yourself and others. But there's a balance. You got to find it. And it's different for everyone. Some people don't have family and other responsibilities and they don't worry about it. Maybe you can spend a little more time working on one or the other. But overall, in general, we have to find balance.
Yes, except King there. Look at him crossing his arms like.
Well, it's just
Well,
like
we are 45 minutes in, and we have.
I know we're getting ready to start questions, so we're going to pause questions because
let me just. Actually, guys, you're doing the work, and it's so beautiful that you're actually in 4D. We're a little higher than the 3D, still stuck in the matrix. And some of us are of the 5D, but we have to still live in this 3D world. So
yeah,
balancing yourself, saying when can I get involved in, a little drama here, or when do I go and ground myself? You still have to put yourself in between both.
Yeah. Well, when the drama happens, you use your discernment of what you get involved in and what you don't. And if you get involved and then you realize later, oh, that was a bad idea, get yourself out of it. Okay. You use Jen's phrase. Okay. Just tell him fuck off. Okay. I'm just saying.
There you go.
It works.
She's technologically savvy now.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to jump into questions? King,
I'll stride in.
Do you have any coffee questions?
Yes. I do.
Okay.
What flavor should I be getting for my coffee?
Oh, that's the question he wasted $5 on.
No, I do not have a coffee question.
I personally, Southern butter pecan. It's delicious. Yes.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm drinking citrus.
Orange Blossom Special.
Yes, citrus, honey, ginger.
Okay. I have coffees, and a lot of them are from Wednesday since I had to run out. So I will start with those.
There you go.
Okay. Miss Louise. She goes, hi, Jen. It's 2:28 a.m., 3/19/25, and an urgency woke me. Will you please pull or deep dive on the 1300-year Kali Yoga closing forever and a brand new day, golden age, 1300 plus year cycle beginning? It's happening this equinox of 3/20. Well, I'm a day late. Please, what advice, clearing karma, etc., do we need to do, say, and be? Such a small matter. LOL. Thank you and blessings. Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
So it happened yesterday, just like this shift. So we're still not at. We're still in the dawn of the age of Aquarius. We're still not at the age of Aquarius, but the Kali Yuga, going into the golden age, is the same as the Indian, the buffalo with the 4 legs. So it's on its last leg. Supposedly, there's supposed to be a little chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that's releasing. But then we go into knowledge and truth. So probably ugly things still have to happen, like the breakdown of the money and all that stuff.
Which would coincide with what we're calling the golden age. And this year of 2025 is the year of disclosure. I'm still waiting for the year of justice. That's what would be great. But we have to put it out there. So there are phases. And if you notice, like this morning's Oracle cards, the world card kept coming in there, whether it was in an Oracle or the tarot cards. The world means ending of cycles and starting a new one. So that was very popular too. But I will pull cards to see what spirit can tell us of what we need to continue to work on. Do we need to continue clear? I'd say that's an ongoing thing until you feel comfortable and that you can ascend. But let's see what they say.
We work on patience.
Oh, here, yeah.
Forgiveness.
Yeah, I mean, still do your internal work, but maybe things will be drawn out that you need to clean out or release that no longer serves you.
It's what we call spiritual declutter, but it can be physical declutter as well.
Or sometimes the spiritual declutter causes physical.
Probably at the time when we just take the past and throw it out and don't even think about it.
Well, that's kind of what this is. Page of Pentacles is always starting something new. We are going into that. In order to get into the new part, the tower has to happen. The old has to come down. So the old structures and the old ways have to totally be destroyed all the way down to the foundation, or we have nothing. We're building on the same rotten foundation that we started out on.
Agreed.
This has actually been going on for a while. The Chariot is a fast-moving card. It's a triumph card. We've been working on it. Currently, this is more about love, interaction, community, and happiness.
Nice.
Ten of Swords. This is always be aware of the backstabbers. Don't quit. If you've got I don't want to do the hard work and I quit, or why don't you do it for me? That's not going to work. And you can't do it for someone else. This is about manifestation of the world that you want to live in. And the oracles for a long time have been saying, create the world you want to live in. Do it consciously. Do it with a vision board. And then when it comes time for you to create your world, it's easy. Start thinking about it.
1:51 your time.
Okay.
Kimberly Barrett.
Page of Wands. Have hope, have optimism, positivity moving forward for the new beginning.
Yeah.
But we have to remember, you have to tear down the old ways. Thank you, Wings. You don't need to say it 5 times. Thank you, love.
But
it goes, the tower and destruction of dogma.
Ooh, that was so important that you froze for a second.
It's important. He said it's a man-made system that has to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What time did you say, love?
1:51 your time. Kimberly Barrett. She's new.
Hello, Kimberly. Welcome to the Circus Freak Show. We love you.
Welcome to the Freak Show.
We love you. All right. Moving on. So really, it's just understanding the destruction of the old ways. Critical thinking is very, very important in this process, and using your discernment. It's almost like telling everything that you've ever been told, throw it out the window. If it doesn't resonate with you, just throw it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's maybe one thing we can talk about in another time is the getting out of the Iron Age into the Golden Age, because the Iron Age is, wasn't it that they used to say that this is the Iron Age of industry and work?
The Industrial Revolution kicked off the Iron Age. That was the early turn of the century, the 19th century. So that was truly it. Then you could get into a more spiritual biblical side and start studying Nebuchadnezzar and all of the Old Testament stories, because spiritually and the physical, they all work together.
Yeah. So the Iron Age,
Ebenezer.
I like the Ebenezer one.
What's Charles Dickens' story got to do with this?
That was a better story. No,
All
but
right, Scrooge.
yeah, but the Iron Age was the enslavement age of us not knowing knowledge, of us being misled.
Yeah.
So now the golden age is the truth and justice, and knowing that we don't have to work like the 3D matrix.
And I want everyone to make sure that you look in the mirror and say, it's not your fault. You are not stupid. You were manipulated. Like, you know how many people I've heard, I can't believe we fell for that. How did we not know? It's mind control.
It's mind control, even on cartoons.
The only thing they can't control is your soul and your spirit. And they're mad because they can't have that unless they pay for it. But then the devil already knows. I've told him fuck off so many times it's not funny. But I'll give you this and I'll give you that. Whatever. No. Do not blame yourself for being manipulated. It is not your fault. We were conditioned in the way we were raised. So were our parents and grandparents.
You were indoctrinated. You should be seen, not heard. Or even the indoctrination of putting a mask on your face just so you couldn't smile or show, oh, not again, he's taking his mask off.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I mean, we were conditioned and taught by fear, shame, fear, guilt. Mm-hmm. So now we're moving up. We're getting rid of.
They wanted to lock you into that frequency because they feed off of it and they keep control that way. And they can't have control if you know the truth.
Well, and I also wanted to bring up the fact that the 5G towers, did you know they replicated the circle of life on the grid on the Earth so that they can keep that frequency to keep us down into the shame, fear, guilt?
Of course.
So because the Great Awakening happened when it did, and the more light workers came up, that was foiled.
Yeah.
So just
we have the power and authority. Well, in a physical sense, the technology that they were bringing over, on those Sealand containers, that was destroyed. The Galactics took that. But just in a spiritual sense, we all just had this feel something's not right. Now I've had it for 20 plus years, but we got a whole lot more people start to, when it was thrown in your face, something's off. And they started asking questions, and that really led to it.
Yeah. And more and more light workers are really coming up and shining. So it's actually more than they predicted. So that's awesome, guys. We just got to get the younger people, young adults, knowing that they're not, nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with them. The gifts they have are beautiful.
That'll take time.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone.
Yes.
Thank you, someone. Good afternoon, Jen. Last week, I had a confrontation with my upstairs neighbor after her boyfriend was taken by the police to a mental hospital.
Oh, okay. Boy, this plays someone.
I told you. Freak show. She stood in front of my building using hand gestures with a demonic smile and giggle. Wouldn't she, precious? All right. I asked King about it, and he felt as I do. She was attempting to cast a spell on me. I have asked Archangel Michael for protection. I know no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I just want to know the advice from what the cards suggest. Please and thank you. Okay. Well, aren't they precious? Did you tell him to fuck off?
Oh, I should have used that on one of my things, John.
F-A-F-O.
There you go. See, I've seen covens do that. And you know what they hate? Because they can't get the reaction that they want, like fear or curiosity. I start laughing and go, oh, look at ya.
Oh, laughter? They hate it.
Oh, they hate it.
You know what they hate more than laughter? Love.
I love you, precious.
When you squeeze those little cheeks of yours.
And I was like, stop that. Don't be nice to me.
Well, isn't that just precious?
Just don't consent, Mary. Your light is brighter than what they're going to do for you.
Ooh, flying cards. All right. The witchcraft runs this generational with this woman, so she thinks that she has power. But you know to set boundaries against her. Yeah, this is generational. It didn't prosper. It didn't work. She's stuck. There's a barrier there.
Actually, there is something you can say that we were starting to do this. Just say, let it return in tenfold with love.
Yeah, there's some kind of deal that she's made. Basically, she almost made a deal with the devil. But you had mentioned that you had called in Archangel Michael. Here he is.
Beautiful, Mary.
Okay, and he's here. And he didn't leave because this is Yeshua giving him instructions. This night is one who sits and watches and waits. So if you would pick up on that energy coming back, he's right here. Now, there's an old phrase, if you want to understand how quickly each of the angels can get here, at least the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
So Uriel, it's 4 flaps of his wings. He's in our presence.
Wow.
Raphael is 3 flaps of his wings, and he's in our presence. Gabriel is 2 flaps. Michael's is instantaneous.
Beautiful.
Because he's a warrior and protector. So Michael did it for you. You have nothing to worry about. Your faith in just knowing that you're divinely protected and they can't do anything is all you need to know. That's how authoritative you have to be. Look,
Mhm.
I know who I am. Remember, I told y'all, straighten your crown. Know who you are.
Yeah, and who's your daddy?
My crown off kilter, you know?
Yours is in the shop getting new diamonds in it, love.
Ooh.
All right. Back to coffees. Julesy. Yes, I have Jules's deck because I got yelled at because I almost forgot it. Okay.
Jules getting Jen yelled at.
Well, I was just gathering one of the things that I had to do, very 3D job. Wings put me under punishment. He goes, you can have the divination tools all you want to, but if you don't dust them, I'm taking them away. So that's what I've been doing. But I put them all back in their boxes and organized them on the shelf. And I went to get ready to start the show. And he goes, you better go get Jules's deck. She has a question. Okay. How is this going to go with the redhead staying with us? All right. Well, we'll send you another one. King of Wands, pack your bags. Other mommy will take you in.
What is the question? Always.
How's it going to go with the redheads being back?
Oh, and I do have a topic question when we get a chance.
Do you have corners in your home?
Create
maybe living in a dome.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying they might need to be in a corner. What's it going to be? You know, it's going to be both ups and downs. Is it going to be more up?
It takes some work. But this is a good move. This is a safety move.
It is, but stand your ground.
Good plans.
No corners.
Dark to light. Being around your energy is really going to help. Okay. This is a fresh new beginning to start over again. Set your boundaries and rules.
That's what I said. Stand your ground.
Stand your ground and set your boundaries and rules. But that's overall happiness. This is a good move. Okay. You've got to still be the parent. So talk about the agreements that what you will tolerate and what you won't. You're going to be fine. They need that good energy. Watch and wait. You have sown the right seeds. Now watch what grows out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to be all right, love. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. So I don't care how old they are. Mom and dad are still in charge.
Oh, she gets to ground them? Awesome.
Well, yeah. Hell, I'd take the belt off. I'm just that way, but you know.
What belt? We use slippers.
Yeah.
You, sir, you.
flip-flop, wooden spoon, it don't matter.
Anything that's in the hand.
It's usually whatever's in arm's length.
Yep.
All right, let me refresh this. One last one, and then King, we'll jump to yours. So with the most recent discovery, that's in quotes, of the pyramids and me being a pharaoh, do I subconsciously know all the secrets of the pyramids? I feel like there is a multi-purpose use of the pyramids. There is, love. So if
There
you're
is.
the key, we're going to stick your head in it and turn. Okay. Let's find out.
So that fractal has to enter for him to know the full key, right?
Yeah, well, we all have all the wisdom of all the past lives we've ever lived. It's embedded into our consciousness. Activating it is the key. Let's see if you will. And I asked Wings, is it okay if I use Jules's deck for King of Wands question? And he goes, well, I guess. Being a smart ass. Okay. And Gabby, you guys will get to see a picture of Wings as soon as it's finished. Gabby's doing his portrait.
Nice.
He's a handsome feller, but he's ornery.
Are you sure he's not like your higher self?
He's identical. He was specifically made for my personality he has my personality, that you each have one. You're all like this. It's just recognizing it. So if you can deal with yourself, you'll be introduced.
That's why I said my guides are so hilarious.
Okay. So right now there's a block here because the information that you have, you're not ready for. Okay. So in the future, it will happen, but you're blocking it, and it would be a huge shock to your system right now. Eventually you'll get it when you're ready and prepared. Yeah, you almost had it. So emotionally, this is where the Queen of Cups says, put your ego in check. Okay. Because you saying, well, I'm the Pharaoh, you got an ego problem. Okay.
Yes,
You ain't any more special with your pretty crown than anybody else. Okay.
So, King of Wands, just question: how many corners are on the pyramids?
Oh, there you go. 10 of Wands. So you're not going to carry it around. What you have will be used to finish up a lot of the questions that people have with the pyramids and their multifunction being portal openers. They control energy in the atmosphere. There's a lot of different things. They're not just tombs for pharaohs. But yeah, but you're going to have to wait a little while. Okay. The ego is still an issue. Yeah, there's your death card. So it's death to the ego. And once you become spiritually really activated, that's when it comes through. Okay. It's part of your contract. Right. All right. All right, King, what you got, love?
I got trouble.
You got trouble.
From Cecilia.
Ooh, tater trouble.
She wants tater salad. I know.
I don't know what kind of salad I should have. No. I don't know if this was covered yet, but there is a place in Japan that claims to be Yeshua's burial site. Could this be true?
He's been everywhere, man. In Japan for
my instant gut wants to scream bullshit, but
I'm getting parallel universe or parallel.
I'm getting yeah,
dimension.
Like probably in a different Gaia. Yeah.
Cecilia, you need to check. Was it Jesus or Jesus?
It was Yamamoto.
Jesus Yamamoto.
Oh, interesting.
He's been everywhere, man.
He went there to teach.
Yep.
Yes.
It's the Knight of Swords. That's a Yeshua card. That's knowledge, receiving knowledge. But he left there. Yeah, there's nothing there. Yeah, this was giving and receiving. He really did a lot of his teachings there.
That was in the last
Yeah,
years.
2 of Cups, making agreements. I'm not getting that resting place. Ooh, thank you. That's a Magdalene card. So he was going back to Magdalene. Ooh.
Interesting.
Something very interesting is being called. There's energy there that absolutely is getting people's attention. So when he went to teach there, it was a very magical place. But I'm not getting grave burial or anything like that. But there's something very magical and spiritual about this place that has his energy there.
I'm getting something, Jen. Did he ascend there to get any messages? Was there an ascension and that was almost like a death? It's okay, buddy.
Well, with the judgment, there could have been one of many. People watch this happen, but it's been covered up and lied about for a while. Something happened there very spiritual. It's almost like a miracle. Not his ascension, but almost like a miracle took place there, and the energy's still there. Yeah. Wow. This has been covered up for a really long time.
Yeah, I'm getting, it's parallel dimension he was.
Yeah.
But not in this.
Yeah, this place in Japan, parallel universe, could represent that's where he ascended. Now we're told that he did it on Mount Olives here and everything, but in a different density, he did it in Japan. So
yeah, you never know.
But in this density, he did some very powerful work there, and that energy's still there. And remember, whatever he did in a density over there can bleed into this one. These fractals can bleed in.
Yes.
So that's probably
Can they bleed out too?
Could be bleed out. You get a tourniquet, okay? Because it's going to get rough. Okay.
I was thinking the crucifixion.
Oh.
Story.
Yeah, I think that's where there's a lot of confusion right now because the energies of all these worlds are blending together. They're coming together. That's why we have so many scenarios and what ifs. And it resonates with some, but not others. But look at all the lifetimes we've lived.
Yeah. Well, some of us.
Well, do you remember when I told you that I wasn't allowed to be alive in this density for the time that Yeshua walked and was crucified because I would cause problems, because in a different density I did. Like
you walk around going,
oh, she said, fuck off.
No, Wing showed me that apparently I used a form of an axe or something to remove the cross.
Ooh.
Because it was like over my dead body. He didn't do nothing. So I was like a great defender, and he's going, child, I must do that. So on this time around, he's like, don't even put her in there. Please don't. Please don't. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting. So apparently I destroyed the cross so it couldn't happen. Sabotage. Okay. All right, guys, let's jump into your starred questions. And I'm going to officially. Yeah, well, I'm going to officially close them because it's already 2:15.
Yeah, but see, there you got 1 minute per question. So let's go.
All right, let's go. Ready? Here we go. Yes.
You're going to time me?
No. Yes.
Oh,
no.
Okay. All right, let's start with Sharon. My grandson, I just heard, is getting deployed. Won't and can't say where is he going to be safe. Very nervous at this time. Don't be. This is the greatest time to be deployed because you've got a great commander in chief. But let's find out.
Yeah, and don't bring your fear to it, because that can be worse than something bad happening. Know that he is safe.
I think it's amazing and an honor if you're getting deployed right now, because you get to work with white hats. You become a white hat. This is an amazing time.
Yeah, I'm getting secret.
Secret squirrely.
And to keep him safe, the cards may say that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sharon, if you're meditating and praying, don't pray out of fear.
Right.
Pray out of gratitude.
It's going to be fine. This is victory.
Yeah.
That would be a balloon over him instead of causing negative energy on him.
Moving out of troubled waters. He does have this knowledge. Okay. He's going to go, don't want to see that. Okay. There's Mr. T. So this is good. This is part of the death card is always about a transition phase. So we have to, but the skulls and this are showing me this is tunnel stuff.
Yeah.
Still underground stuff.
But he's divinely protected. There's your hermit. He's going to be fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't ask questions. You just pray, and God's got him. Let him do his job. And I know this is hard because we're just curious and because he's family. Don't hound him with questions even when he gets back. Just love on him and see him as the grandson, not the warrior.
Yeah. I can't believe there's still underground crap.
It's that bad. You're talking about miles and miles and miles underneath, and it's global. But you have to understand, it's not, you got to think about the area that's under the dome, but think about how big Gaia actually is. Has this stuff been going on into the world's part of the world that we have never even seen? The lands, we don't know. Okay. Miss Mary. My son Aaron finally has a doctor's appointment today. Will the doctor get to the bottom of his main health problem, his heart, please, and thank you. Okay.
They're going to run tests. It might take longer than usual.
Ultimately, yes.
But he might just say forget it with all the tests coming up. What's up, beautiful? What's up, love? Look. They're not going to say it's because of the driver, do though.
Well, this is they're in and out, so they're going to dance around the questions. They're going to put more fear into him than anything. And then they're going to offer, hey, take this medicine. Please use your discernment. Okay. This is not. They're just lying. They're covering it up. This is illusion. Okay. And this is the hothead doctor who said, yeah, it's the King of Wands, who says, but I know what I'm talking about, and you need to listen to me, even though it's all lies. Okay. Just take this medicine and be quiet. There's your tower. So, no, they're not going to get to it. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm not going to lie to you. No, they're not. They're going to put a Band-Aid on it and just basically roll the dice. Okay.
Yeah.
You pray. That's your job.
Make sure they do blood work and make sure they do a C protein profile. That's the heart.
Yeah, Wings is just showing me this shoving of medicine bottles. That's all they're showing, just shoving more drugs on top of it, which are just Band-Aids. Yeah. All right. Miss Linda, what if some of us don't believe in soul contracts and just living and walking with our Heavenly Father daily and working on becoming more spiritual? You do you, boo.
Do you? Yeah.
That works because that's your path. And some people don't believe in soul contracts, and that's fine. Maybe this is your first go around. I don't know. But you don't let anybody talk you out of your beliefs.
Yeah,
Maybe
there's
that's part of your soul contract.
It could be. It could be. But as long as you know that you have faith and you have your Father,
you have that relationship. Who am I to judge?
You're just on a different journey going from A to B. There's so many different ways of going from A to B.
Yep. All right. King of Wands, this troublemaker. Who is Nadia King talking to? That's when I said I'd rather be invisible. So apparently I wasn't seen. Okay, I'll see.
Who's on first? What's on second?
And that annoying gnat in
his
he's
on third.
All right, Roman. How soon is that in terms of our days here, though? So ascension-wise, no one knows. No one knows. Especially if it's done in stages. No one knows. Will there probably be one massive event where the majority go at one time? No one knows that. Even scripturally, Jesus doesn't know that. The divine creator himself knows it, and that's it. But you can know the season, and we're in it.
I could see me ascending, and then I'll get stuck.
Winter.
And you'll see my feet just there. I'll be like, hey, help, I'm afraid of heights.
You know what Wings just put in my head?
What?
He's laughing. He thinks it's hilarious. He's making a joke of our granny panties. He said they're all going to get caught on chain link fences and you're going to get stuck.
There we go.
Okay. All right, Moon. Here we go. Did China join up with Ukraine? U.S. going to really go to war? Is Zelensky a white hat? No, he's an asshole. And what about Putin and Russia?
Was that coming from Wings?
No, it's just from what I understand. Okay. What part of he's an actor do you not understand?
The whole thing is a movie.
He is he literally was an actor, and now he really is playing a part. This is to watch some people drama. Up. It is just a wake up. Are we worried about China? No.
Why would China even join Ukraine if China's part of Russia?
We have to remember that Xi Jinping is a white hat because he went into the office wanting to remove the CCP.
And he did, I think.
And he did. So if you hear the rumbles, don't believe everything you hear. This is where that avoid the drama, and the distractions. They want you to, that fear mongering, it is not a time of war except spiritual warfare.
You know what, guys? If you have that, if you think it is, send love.
Yeah.
Just love. Send that frequency, change it.
Yep. All right. Roman. Jen, what say the cards on what I've been experiencing and feeling the last 3 days with this surreal, tangible change? Okay.
Jen, let's see the card. I think are you experiencing a better, aren't you, Roman?
He is.
Yeah, and that's surreal because once you get to, I don't know, the divine, it is so different. You look at things differently. And that's surreal in the beginning. Almost too good to be true, almost.
Okay, what Wings say?
God keeps his promises.
Nice.
The Hierophant. This is your faith. This is your faith, your communication with the divine creator. This is you looking into your future. You've been getting those downloads I told you about. You may not even be consciously aware of it, but they're coming in.
Well, that's why it's so surreal for him, because he's actually understanding it.
Because you're realizing and walking away from things that don't emotionally serve you, or staying stuck in that ego frame of mind is actually going to get you out of where you're at. That's beautiful. You realize that feeling beat down, wore out and everything, you're holding the line. You're still holding the line, but you don't have to carry this war and burden all by yourself. All right. Wow. Ace of Pentacles. God's handing you a gift.
But your ego wants to try to make sense of it. Your spirituality understands it.
That's another gift. It's being handed to you. Be open to receive.
Yeah, but it's his ego that doesn't want to understand it. It's not understandable in an ego point of view.
Well, you know what I say to tell the ego? Do I need to repeat it?
Go ahead.
Fuck off. Okay.
You should change your banner. You should put like.
Okay. Anyway, you do have to tell it to go away and be quiet, because it will talk you out of anything. Because then you start saying, "Is that really God? Or maybe it's just my head. I don't know."
Exactly. That's the ego.
Stop doing that. God's going, "Hello, I'm here." You've got angels all around you going, "Here, you asked for this. Father wants to give it to you," and you're going, "That's not real." And they're going, "Hello." And you have to tell that ego to be quiet. It is tangible. You do feel results. And when you do, that builds your faith even more. Okay. All right. Before King falls asleep. Marcy. Did I die and have been birthed again and didn't know it physically or spiritually? We go through rebirths all the time, but let's see.
Was this recent, Marcy?
Did you feel that you had one of your contract exit dates so you could get refreshed? It happens.
See, get birthed again. It's almost like her slingshot thing. She left and came back. I don't know if that's a death or is that just a out of body.
You started something new here.
Yeah.
Reborn spiritually.
It's
That's okay. New beginning. This is part of your soul contract. So you had a split of density here.
Okay, that makes sense. That's what I felt the spiritual body go out.
It's to strengthen your gifts, though. So you went to go get a gift. It was to strengthen. Yeah. And now look at all these new beautiful things coming in. So yeah, Ace of Swords. It's where you go and you step out briefly, and then the divine creator gives you these downloads. Ace of Swords is all this information all of a sudden. And then you come back and go, "Ooh, I know more than what I did." You may not know it all at once, but you're refreshed, you're renew. And that was part of your soul contract. And if you're new here and haven't heard me say it, we all have these little exit dates in our soul contract where you can leave, go back, get a reset, or get downloads. And if you choose to. All right.
Can I move forward?
Do what?
Move forward instead of going back?
Yeah. Well, they're standing do the hokey pokey.
Is it one step forward, 2 steps forward, 1 step back?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. I was supposed to exit stage left in February 2020, but I insisted on staying on this side. Why was I not allowed to remember the experience of going to cross over? Because it's too much of a distraction when you cross over. A lot of times people who do that, they get obsessive about going back, and you lose focus on what you're supposed to be doing here. So if you cross over, you have the acknowledgement that you did, but don't focus on that. That's done and over with. Focus on what you're supposed to be doing now. Okay. So And good for you for sticking it out and being here.
Yeah.
Because you could have, if you could have exited and you chose to stay, that means that's how important you are to this
What was
time.
I thinking?
I know. Yeah, you'll go through that too. Regret.
And that's another reason why they let you forget, so you can sign it again.
Yeah. Or you can be like me, who had no other choice and get pushed. But, all right. Charlene, here we go. Did we go into a fail safe in 2012 to save humanity from completely being destroyed? That's what I was talking about. There was this, and it all goes back to the Mayan calendar and the stars and how it was an alignment. I call it a reset, a spiritual reset, because God is giving us another opportunity. That's how loving and how much grace and mercy he has for humanity.
Speaking of Charlene.
Oh, yes. Ms. Charlene, you need to email me about your reading, love. If you want to wait till April, I'll get you scheduled for April. King has taken the spot for this coming Tuesday.
Unless you want it.
Unless you want it. Okay. And I've got that down for
1 o'clock. My
4
time.
4 p.m. my time, 1 o'clock King's time. So whatever time zone you're at. So you need to let me know so I can let King know. Okay. All right. But fail safe, you can call it that. I think it has lots of different names, but I just call it a reset. But yeah, absolutely. All right, Miss Lisa.
She said, go for it, King.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And what happened during the time I was supposed to cross over? What happened?
During the time?
I will pull for you, but if they tell me none your business, it's because you weren't meant to remember it. But let's see.
Yeah, just pick a day in April, Charlene, for her.
Yeah, just email me and I'll set up a date. You give me your dates of what worked best, and then I work around my schedule.
I'm getting, if you didn't, you would have still stuck in the 3D rat race. You wouldn't have been awake.
Okay. So that's how she came to
Volcano erupted.
It's Nunya. He goes, Nunya.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he just told me. Okay. So you're all like, what? So the download, you got some downloads. Okay. You can't walk away. So they said you can, because you have free will in heaven as well. All right. So basically what Wings was showing me is they stand you there in front of these giant screens. This is a life review. If you chose to stay, they give you the options of what life is going to be like here without Miss Lisa. All right. And apparently it was going to be a shit show.
Yep.
So they show you what it's going to be like if you come back, because you have a job to do. And this is the happiness, and to get people to focus on meditation and prayer. And this is justice to help bring balance. You help bring the energy to balance out the world. Okay. So they basically gave you an opportunity. Yes, it's beautiful. Look at this beautiful. You could have all this new stuff here, but this is what's going to happen to the world, because the King of Cups can be chaotic. Okay, that's a lot of tidal waves there. All right. So it was better. You saw what would happen with the world without Miss Lisa. And you said, well, I don't want what it would do to your family, what it would do to your coworkers. And you said, no, I want to bring happiness and joy. So you chose on your own to come back. Okay.
I can never be chaotic.
So during that time, this just says that you be chaotic. We wear life jackets when we're King of Cups. You received a lot of knowledge to help you in these latter days of what you're supposed to do. but obviously you can see they're not going to tell us this is boundaries. They're like, you don't need to know that. Don't worry about it. You will receive it when you need to know it. Okay. All right, Miss Jules. An astrologer card reader I have followed off and on said she is atheist the other day. Who does she think she gets her info from?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just my opinion. When you listen to someone use divination in any shape or form, if they're not specific about calling in the divine and recognizing the divine, most likely it's the demonic spirits appearing as they give you just as much information as the divine does if you don't set your boundaries. So if they're not even if she's an atheist and she doesn't recognize now being a full atheist doesn't recognize evil or good. But here's the difference. Evil doesn't need your permission. They'll push their way in because they're rude. Divine needs your permission to come in. So if there's no recognition or boundaries put up, 9 times out of 10, it is a negative spirit. And that's not good because you're opening yourself up to a whole can of demonic possession, wrong answers.
Yeah.
And
Also,
it's dangerous. So I always follow the people that at least they don't have to call them by name, but they at least acknowledge that there is a divine, good, benevolent, higher power than themselves.
yeah, but you guys would also feel it. You'll feel if it's not right.
Yeah.
That's
Well, obviously it triggered something in Jules and made you a little uncomfortable enough to ask the question.
yeah.
So it may make you question. That could have been God whispering in your ear that was revealed to you to say, you really want to listen to this one?
That's what I mean.
So,
That's the work you guys been doing.
All right, 17. Can they try and control the magnetic field that affects our 666? They do that with CERN, but that's been the bad CERN, that all of that's been destroyed. They absolutely can affect, anything can affect the magnetic field, internally and externally. But it's to my understanding that that's been taken care of, the negative trying to manipulate it.
Yeah,
Also-
it's rewired.
Well,
Yeah.
also the magnetic field is shifting on its own.
Yeah.
So you may think it's somewhat negative, but it actually is doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Right. And that has a lot to do with a lot of the time splits that we have. They did manipulate it to where we split into other ones and in time densities. It caused a lot. And unfortunately, it flipped into people were thrown into even worse scenarios in other parallel universes that were worse than this one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why the galactics, the divine came in and said, don't do that anymore. Searching for the God particle, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to play God.
Exactly.
So they can't do it anymore. All right. Miss Kimberly is new here. Welcome, welcome. Like I said, it's the, freak show. And we welcome all freaks here. You are loved. Please, is there a message from my dear friend?
Yes. Such a do. Yes, there is.
Snyder's giving the message.
Snyder's been saying
Would that sound sad?
he's been this whole time, 2 hours he's laying down next to me whining.
He knows it's time for mom to be done.
He does. No, not yet, not yet. Miss Jen was kidding.
Almost.
Almost, love.
Just almost.
Almost, baby boy.
Yeah, almost got it.
Hopefully Kim's still here. It's okay, love. I know. What are we?
This is learn to let go a little more. Messages are coming in. You don't need me to tell you this. You're getting messages all the time. There's certain strategic times that you get it more than others. This is release that. Don't focus on the sadness. There was so much happiness in the past. Wow, that's a strong message. You're already getting these messages. Take more action. I'm with the divine creator. Soul searching. Page of Swords. More messages coming through. Wait.
Wings has it.
When?
Bottom card.
Wow.
Your friend's coming back. This is a reincarnation.
Nice.
He
was forced. Was he forced into the reincarnation because of a contract?
Given the option, I said when, and it says the option is there. So that there's some options out on the table. Feeling left out in the cold. So this person is a very influential person to you that has had a lot of clout and is very, very important. They're coming back into your family. Watch for new babies.
Yep.
Okay. But don't sit and worry about when. All right. Because there's not a timing on this. It's just that option, that's their free will to decide when to come in. That's interesting. Because they're a warrior. They're meant to be in this final battle. So they're going to come back as a starseed. That's interesting. You're already hearing from this person, but they're letting you know, I'm coming back. Be prepared.
Okay, so that's probably why there was a time of silence. I bet you they're preparing to come back in at that moment. Could it be a walk-in? Does it have to be a baby? You'll know who this person is, Kim, by the way they act.
Yeah, baby. I'm getting walk-in.
Baby, it will come in as a baby. You'll know, though.
This page tells me brand new.
Okay.
Brand new.
Brand new walk-in.
And not a twin. So this is solo, independent, only child. And this is female energy.
So it'll come in as a female.
So look for baby girls being born into your family.
Yep.
Does it have to be family or soul family?
Well, 10 of Cups is always about, happily ever after. It's usually your emotional family who you consider emotionally being close to. So
you're right.
Okay. So, okay. Well, Kimberly, I hope that resonates with you. And welcome to the family.
Yep.
All right.
Let me just ask, can I ask one last Vippy?
Okay.
So, Schneider, is he in spiritual battle pain as I am, or is he just adjusting to this shift that we're going through? I just want to know.
Wings already told me.
We got a new,
that Schneider's more of an empath. He's trying to take on your pain.
Yep.
You better stop that.
Don't you tell him stop that. That's his job.
That's his free will now. Come on.
You better stop that. He's like rolling on the ground, whining the whole time.
You ain't Jesus.
But I am his boss.
Yeah. This is so he's taking it for you. So you can be happier. He'll take it.
Gladly. And you will like it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you will like it.
That's his job. He's one of your kids.
Yeah. So we'll work on each other.
Yeah.
I'll just do some cleaning on him, so I'll take it
back. Don't fight it.
I'll take it back.
It's his choice. Yeah, he's absorbing a lot of that darkness. So let him do it. Yeah, this is for you to be at peace.
Well, I froze. I froze on that one moment that you were saying that. Amazing.
All right. So there's some emails that I have to respond to. I'm going to do my best this weekend to do it. Um, I'm very, very booked the rest of March, but April is opening up. So if you need to schedule something, let me know. I'm not working this weekend. I try not to work any weekend, but Lee got a phone call yesterday, and they're supposed to bring the refrigerator tomorrow because they got in huge trouble.
Oh, well,
The
is it Tuesday tomorrow?
No, they don't work on Saturdays, but they are tomorrow. No, the corporation LG, the one that makes the refrigerator, called them themselves.
Wow.
That threatened to end the contract. You will never deliver anything for us ever again if you don't get that refrigerator to them.
Wow.
So they're coming tomorrow, and I'm like, that's right. See, my crown is on straight.
Good job, Lee.
Shocked him too, and I'm like, okay, works for me. Yeah.
So they didn't get it out of a different timeline. They didn't send it to the wrong timeline, huh?
No, that's just the enemy trying to tick off and trigger Jen. And I straightened my crown and I said, it is mine. It will be here. And guess what?
Wow.
Yeah, JoJo, final episode of the refrigerator, hopefully on Monday. It'll be stainless steel and not white. So we'll see. Anyway. Yeah. Great show. Everything we talked about today is all hypothetical because nobody knows.
Yep.
Run with it. Go with what feels right to you.
How it splits, whether or not you go off and the 3D people go off into another world on a spacecraft, who knows?
Who knows? Everybody's got an individual plan, I think. There's a lot we're going to do as groups, and there's a lot that we're going to do solo. So, not to mention all the people that have already transitioned over and catching back up with them and working with them. There's so many different scenarios. But anyway, that's right, Miss Mary Jones. FAFO. All right.
Yeah, and it was kind of fun to just hypothetically. I hope you guys enjoyed those little questions that we had, and
just little different scenarios because we don't know. King, you got a show this weekend.
I have one tomorrow.
All right.
1 o'clock. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Same bat shit crazy.
And then I have the Roundtable on Monday.
Yeah. King's got Monday and Friday of next week. I'll do Wednesday.
Can I make a suggestion? Maybe if you guys are interested.
Maybe.
Can we work on maybe a deep dive on mental illnesses and seeing if they are mental illnesses, or are they spiritually connected in different ways?
I can answer that now and save us a whole day.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll get rid of on Friday.
Well, there has to do with we have toxic poisons, okay, that have absolutely, and with the jabberdoos of any form, have caused a lot. Indoctrination has caused a lot. Spiritually has caused a lot. You have all of the above. You would have to take each individual one and pick it apart to figure out exactly what was the main cause.
Well, I mean, I think the way our great creator is so amazing. I mean, how do you manage to bring the retired, out of shape, overweight light workers under the radar in order to do what we had to do, So
we had to expand as light workers.
Of course. I mean,
our light is just as big as our waistlines. Isn't that beautiful?
Or bigger. But I mean, to me, I think like even autistic kids are under the radar.
Yeah, spiritual gifts are flying under the radar unless you've tapped into them. And a lot of people are tapping into them and instantly have fear because they don't recognize what it is. So when you see this happening, we have to encourage people. Don't be afraid of that. It's okay.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. It's been under the radar for not being indoctrinated. Those kids are not indoctrinated. So, I mean, okay, maybe not. I just was throwing
and the frequency of the planet and how they manipulate with the 5G towers and everything. There's triggers. There's MK Ultra. There's so many different things that could contribute to these mental illnesses because we were never meant to have mental illnesses. It covers up the divinity of the pineal gland and how precious you are. So it's a lot. Now, King, what was Rock had a suggestion of a topic. What was he talking about?
UNESCO.
Oh yeah, UNESCO. I don't even know what that is. I know it had something to do with the UN, but
it's something like they're writing the history or something. Like, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Well, we can take a deep dive on UNESCO and see what the thing is.
I'm going to write it down. We'll see what it is.
UNESCO.
All caps.
Or you can spell it OSCAR.
Or you can tell them.
We are.
Or you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay, or you can call me Ray J, or you can call me J.
Is this probably a nefarious group?
It sounds. Wait, where's my? Okay.
Well, then we're gonna spell it FAFO. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. You guys have a very blessed weekend. I'll see you on King's show Monday morning for oracles, and then he'll be hosting. Schedule is already up on my community page, so y'all
let me go transmute some of the pain that he took.
Don't get wrapped up in all the distractions of the world, guys. Okay.
Keep your focus inside and not outside.
Be happy where you're at. Be grateful for where you're at. When it happens, it happens. Just stay focused on the divine.
And find comedy. Oh, yeah? No.
Absolutely.
1, 2, goodbye. Love and light. Oh, I'm losing my voice. Perfect timing.
Oh, that spirit going, mute. There you go.
At least they're nice enough to let me come on the show and talk to you guys. So now I'll be quiet. Love and light, guys.
Go rest. All right.
Bye.
All right. All right, guys. Great show. Thanks for hanging out. Great questions. United National Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. So it's an organization of bullshit that they want you to believe. Okay, got it. All right. Well, we'll take a look. All right, guys. Be blessed. Be happy. No worries. I love you. Bye.